So I've been working a lot on Instagram. I said I would for about a year and never really got to it, but I've been working on it a lot, which means also following a lot of other creators here in the retro space and, engaging with them, talking with them, finding out what works for them, what doesn't work for them, and just generally building a community because I like talking about this stuff and seeing cool pictures of this stuff. Well, a few of the accounts that I followed started having the same dilemma and posting almost the exact same thing. They were running into the same problem, and it's something that I see streamers face all the time, even YouTubers as well. And it's something I wanted to talk about here because I think there's something that can be done about it if you want to get in the headspace for it. Otherwise, it's pretty self-destructive. But before we get to that, let's talk about my Instagram. Yeah, I've been working on my own Instagram, building up this whole retro aesthetic on there. If you're unaware, go follow me over at instagram.com/EposVox. Get followed on there. We're at about 2,500 right now. I'm super stoked. I've been promising this for over a year now, and finally within the past couple months I've really been able to get like a recurring schedule of posting going. We've got post after post after post, retro aesthetic. If that's your thing, go hit the follow button, instagram.com/EposVox. Anyway, you see the accounts that I have followed, there are some of them who have within the past year or two made what they call a personal account, which is very similar to the account they have now, but it started fresh. And it shares a bit more behind the scenes things and less polished posts compared to their main account. It's like my secondary channel where I post random gaming clips and things like that. It's just kind of a dumping ground where I want to post stuff. But then I notice I will have they will post a lot to the second account and their main account will fall pretty inactive, which of course hurts that account. And then they'll post a story to it at some point being like, hey, I'm still alive. I'm having a lot more fun posting over on the second account. So blah, blah, blah. And while obviously that serves as a great promotional opportunity of like, hey, if you're missing the content, come follow a second account. So now I have 2 accounts worth of followers. It also identifies a real problem that these people are struggling with their creative cycle. In that these are creators, which I've actually dug into them quite a bit to find out what else they're posting. These are creators who only post to this one platform, to this one page, other than their new second page. They have one Instagram profile. That is all of their social media with regards to like a brand that they have. They have this one account. It's on Instagram. They post one thing to it. They are beholden to this one audience, and they are restricted to the bounds of what they find restricting about the expectations of that platform. If that doesn't make sense to you in terms of YouTube or streaming terms, Linus actually talked about this recently with regards to them starting up the secondary short circuit channel and some of their other side channels, in that just a casual unboxing talking about a product doesn't really have a place on the main Linus Tech Tips channel anymore, because the Linus Tech Tips videos come with their own set of expectations and, in terms of both the content quality as well as the content subject, and it can actually hurt their main channel to post subpar or poor performing videos to the main Linus Tech Tips channel, but that is still a niche of content that some people are interested in, so it makes a lot more sense to spin it off onto its own thing. Well, think about that, but in terms of your creative juices. If I want to post something unrelated to retro stuff or general retro gaming, retro tech stuff on this Instagram account, it's going to confuse the viewers. It's potentially going to cause some followers to not show up, to unfollow, or it's going to cause some people to follow for that post and then unfollow or just stay inactive when I'm posting stuff unrelated to that. Same thing with streamers. If you build up your entire career streaming one game, then you feel locked into that game. The issue does not necessarily come into that strategy. I have a lot to say about that kind of strategy though, and I've said it over time and we can talk about it more in the future. The problem comes in the form of putting too many eggs in one basket. These are people who have put all of their eggs in this one game or this one platform or this one subject, and when they want to do something else, they don't have the freedom to. Now there's obviously the business problems of putting all your eggs in one basket, and we talk about that all the time, and you should never be beholden to one single platform for your revenue, for your audience, for anything. But when it comes to content-wise and stuff, you as a person are probably interested in more than one thing. There are some people that aren't. There are some people who could play one game on stream or on a video or talk about one subject on video for the rest of their lives and never question it. Those people probably secretly have a lot of other hobbies behind the scenes and they just don't want to tell you about it. But there are some people who genuinely they have one interest and that's all they care about. But most people have a lot of interests. If you follow me, even just talking about the Instagram stuff for, the retro gaming stuff, I have interests everywhere. I've got tech, I've got gaming, I've got retro stuff, I've got VHS, I've got movies, TV shows, podcasts, I've got skateboarding, I've got art, I've got stylistic things I'm interested in, I've got film critic channels I follow, things like that. I am interested in so many subjects. If I were to build up my current business model, my current lifestyle around only being able to talk about tech and on this one channel and having no other outlets for my creative or talkative juices, I would feel really restricted and really frustrated. In fact, I always have considered myself to have given up potential YouTube growth milestones back in the day when I was doing gaming content and things like that, because I was terrified of the idea of being locked into one subject. I never wanted to be beholden to this one thing, so I always did everything I could to make sure, even if it meant sacrificing growth, I was never locked into that. It is very important as a streamer and as a content creator to make sure you have secondary outlets for what you do. It does not need to be something online that people even see. It can be a personal Instagram that you don't promote anywhere, but you post to for fun. It can be a writing blog. It can be a journal. It can be something completely private or something online that you maybe side promote, but otherwise don't make a big deal about. Or it could be just a full second channel where you're like, here's my main, I'm streaming on this, but I also have a YouTube channel where I talk finance or construction or woodworking or something.
One, have you heard of the idea of secret art? Do you know?
Me personally?
No. It was aimed at...
Talking to you.
Yeah,
No.
you. So the idea of secret art is art that artists who have sort of gained a following make just for themselves. That they don't ever show to anybody else. They don't ever plan on selling or showing to an audience. It's just to... It's to be able to make art that isn't going to be judged by anybody, that does not have to be compared to their previous art, and that's what sort of what you were saying about gaming and wanting gaming to be enjoyable. For me, it's building things, right? So I have, I guess, secret projects now, stuff that I haven't posted on the channel, because sometimes I just want to build something and I don't constantly want to be talking into the camera. I don't constantly want to be like worrying about like, oh, I need to move the camera for each of the following things I'm going to do, so this cuts together into a nice montage, da-da-da-da-da. Sometimes I just want to build the thing. And so, I don't know, I guess that's something that's evolved over maybe the past year, is like reconnecting with just that love of building things and not always viewing building things through the lens of like, is this going to make a good video? What is the story here? How do I show this to everybody?
It is important to make sure that you have a couple feet in a couple different places. Now, I do want to state that you probably shouldn't have those feet in places where you have the expectation of delivering full-time content on both unless you're capable of it, as this is something that will also restrict you and possibly cause conflict between the two platforms, because then you have the expectation of making this a full-time gig while also having your second channel be a full-time gig. You need to approach the second thing as being a casual secondary, outlet. But I think it's very important for everyone to have it, and I don't think enough people consider that. So many people want to put all of their energy for 8 hours a day, 3 to 4 days a week, streaming or content creating on this one subject, and then when something else comes up, it becomes almost an existential crisis of what to actually do with it. And it's fairly easy to get around it. So my challenge for you for this weekend is to make a new profile on some sort of online site. Doesn't even have to be public. A Flickr, an Instagram, a blog site, a Facebook profile, a secondary YouTube channel, a different streaming site. Make that and just create something basic for fun, no pressure, no production quality, nothing like that. Just something small and easy that you enjoy, that comes from the heart, and get that out there and see how it feels. You may find out that you want to keep doing that from time to time, and that's pretty cool. Hope you enjoyed this kind of weird one-off discussion video. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Hit the like button and subscribe for more streaming, education, and tech content. Do go follow me over on the Instagram, instagram.com/EposVox, to get more of my retro room stuff. I'll see you in the next video.